Hey everyone, today I'm going to break down AI agents in the simplest way possible. We'll cover what they are, their key components, and how they actually take action. Then I'm going to show you guys a step-by-step way to build a super simple AI agent in just a couple of minutes with no code. There's a ton of information out there about AI agents, especially with all the hype about DeepSeek. My goal is to make it super clear using this simple diagram I've put together. And to make things even more practical, we're going to jump right into n8n, which is an automation software, also a website for you to build AI agents, to build a super simple email AI agent from scratch. No code, no complicated setup. All the resources are in the Notion site down below, and it's completely free. I think you'll be super surprised by how fast you'll be able to get one up and running, so let's not waste any time, let's dive right in. Now, as you can see here, I have this super simple diagram, and I'm going to be explaining how AI agents work. Now, if you don't know what an AI agent is, it's simply just like a human employee, but it processes a lot faster since it's based off AI. So we have this core node over here. Now, this is the AI agent. It has a brain and it has instructions. Now, this brain is simply an LLM model. For example, o1 from ChatGPT, Claude 3.5, or even DeepSeek o1. And then we give it these instructions. Now these instructions are simply like a guide for it to do what we want it to do. Let's say we were going to build an AI agent to send out emails for us, responding to sponsorships. Now we want the emails that they're sending out to be according to a specific guideline. And we're going to give that guideline in our instructions. And if we want any specific requests, then we're also going to provide those in the instructions. Then we have this system prompt over here. Now this system prompt is simply what we tell our AI agent to do. Now, just so you guys know, this AI agent that we're building today is going to be based off chat input, so it's simply going to look just like a ChatGPT. We're just going to be able to talk to it and it's going to do what we want to do. So the system prompt is simply what we tell it to do in the chat. For example, if you hop onto ChatGPT and you tell it, write me a 1,000-word paper on the fall of Genghis Khan, then write me a 1,000-word paper on Genghis Khan is the system prompt right there. System prompt is simply what we ask it to do, and it's going to take that and it's going to use its brain, which is the model, and it's going to use the instructions it has to be able to write this paper for us. Now, this is really similar to ChatGPT. Now, of course, everybody's used ChatGPT. It's simply a place where you can talk to this chatbot and it's going to immediately do anything you want, but it doesn't really take action. It simply gives you an informational response. If I tell ChatGPT to submit an email for me, it won't be able to. It can only craft the email, then I'm gonna have to go into Gmail and send it myself. Anyways, then we have the LLM memory. Now this LLM memory is simply the memory that this AI agent has from our past interactions. So for example, if you go into ChatGPT, let's say in February, and you write a research proposal about, let's say, the Ottoman Empire, then it's going to remember that you wrote that research proposal. Then later on, when you actually write the essay, it's going to remember and it's going to immediately start writing the essay for you. Or for example, if I give ChatGPT any sensitive data, which you shouldn't do, for example, my name, where I'm from, where I live, or anything like that, it's going to remember that. And then anytime I ask it to do something related to this, it's going to bring that up right away because it's in its memory. Think of it kind of like a human employee. It has a memory of your guys' past interactions. Now, it takes in the input through our system prompt, and then it processes it using its brain, instructions, and if it has any relevant data inside of the memory, then it's going to use that as well, and then it simply creates this output for us. Now, if you have any programming knowledge, then you're going to remember that this is just like a normal Python program or any language that you've ever worked with before. You simply provide an input, and then it's going to give you an output. But this is a little bit different. Also, these four concepts right here are the basis of ChatGPT. It has this LLM memory, it has the brain, which is the model, and then it has the system prompt, which is what you tell it to do. Now, where the magic really happens and where this AI agent term comes into play is this right here, the tool. Now, the tool is simply something we give access to the AI agent. The AI agent is able to use this to perform actions for us. As I said before, if I go into ChatGPT and I tell it, make this email for me, it's not going to be able to actually send the email or even ask me for confirmation and then send it. It's simply going to craft the Gmail for me, and I'm going to have to copy and paste it into my own Gmail app. I'm going to have to send it myself. But we've evolved. Now these AI agents are able to be connected to tools, and they're able to actually take action for you. For example, if I go onto the agent that we're going to build in a little bit, and I tell it, can you send an email to John asking him, can I take my 2-week leave right now? Then it'll immediately craft the response. If I tell it to give me the draft for approval before it sends it, then it's going to ask me for approval, and then it's going to immediately send it. If I don't tell it, then it'll straight up immediately send it. Now, the thing is, AI agents are not limited to one tool only. As you can see, we only have one in this diagram, but that's just for simplicity. Now imagine if this tool was multiplied. Imagine if our agent had so many tools. Imagine if our agent was able to send emails for us, send Telegram messages for us, maybe even work with our school community, anything. Now this agent really starts to become like a human employee. And now as it has more tools, as we interact with it more, its LLM memory starts to grow because we've had more interactions, and it kind of starts to get to know us. Now AI agents can be used for very specific use cases. For example, I can make this AI agent to send emails for me, or I can have this AI agent simply do one task for me, and that's sort of like one AI agent, one automation. But we can also do this type of setup over here. We can give our AI agent multiple tools, and then it can work as our personal assistant. So now that's the basics of AI agents, and now we're going to jump straight into n8n, and we're going to build a super simple email AI agent that can send emails for us. As I've hinted before, it completely obeys this diagram over here. Of course, it doesn't have nearly as many tools because it's only connected to Gmail. It can send a Gmail for us, and that's about it. But this is a super simple AI agent that we're building, and it only takes a couple of minutes, and that's going to be it for this video. Anyways, you can continue to expand and add in multiple tools based on what you've learned from this video. You can make it your own personal AI assistant, just like a human employee. Even if you're not a big boss, even if you don't have enough money to hire a real human, then you can just build this AI agent and it will work for you all the time. So without further ado, let's jump into n8n, and we're going to immediately build our agent right now. So now we come to the time where we have to build our own AI agent. It's going to take a couple of minutes, and it's going to be super simple. So here is an agent that I built a couple of days ago. Seems kind of complicated, but it seriously is just a couple of different nodes. Nodes are these over here, any box, and we're going to build our own one right now. So head over to n8n, and you can use the link in the description, and you're going to make an account and create your first workflow. Now let's rename this workflow to email assistant chat. Okay? Now the first step in any n8n workflow is to simply add the trigger. Now we can make this trigger anything that we want, but here we're going to go down to chat message because we want this to be a chatbot email assistant that can send emails for us, but through a chat. So right here we're going to make the chat as a trigger, and as you can see here we have this hi, and it's simply no response because we don't have any brain connected. Now after we make the chat, what we're going to do is we're simply going to add our AI agent. Now this is a very common node in n8n. Simply go over to this plus sign, click on it, go to advanced AI, and click on AI agent. Now, as you can see here, a lot of things open up and it seems kind of complicated, but I promise you it's not. Now as you can see here, it already took the prompt, which is our chat input, which is simply from our chat that we've connected before, so it already knows that. Now what we have to do is we have to commit our chat model, our memory, and our tool onto this AI agent. Now these are all pretty self-explanatory, but I'm of course going to explain them. Our chat model is simply the model, the LLM that we're going to use. I'm going to be using OpenAI, and I'm going to use GPT-4o Mini. Now when you sign up for n8n, it gives you some free OpenAI API credits. If not, then you're going to have to make your own credential, but you don't need to do that when you're just signing up. So you're simply going to connect this OpenAI chat model, you're going to click on GPT-4o Mini because it's the cheapest and it's super fast. Now, after you connect the chat model, what you have to do is you have to connect the memory. Now, this memory that the AI agent has is simply going to be based off of a specific number of our past interactions with it. So when we connect the memory, we're going to use window buffer memory because it's the easiest and we want to make this quick. So window buffer memory right over here, and all you have to do is you can edit this to however many you want. It's simply the number of past interactions that the model receives as its memory. So for example, if I tell it something once and then close the window, that's one interaction. It's going to remember 5 of those interactions. So 5 chat sessions, think about it like that. Now after we have this window buffer memory, all we want to do is simply change our AI agent to actually have sort of a personality. Now, as you can see here, we have this chat model, tools agent, and all we're going to do here to make this AI agent have our instructions like you saw in the diagram is we're going to go over to add option, we're going to click on system message. Now this is simply the instructions that are going to be sent to the AI agent every single time that we send it a chat. Of course here it starts off with you are a helpful assistant, but I want to go over to expression so we can make it dynamic instead of fixed, which means it's going to send the same thing every time. I'm going to click on expand. Now this over here we're going to change, and I'm going to copy and paste something that I already have. I made it with ChatGPT. You can make it for yourself as well, but I have everything linked in the Notion site down below in the description. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and as you can see it's simply just the instructions. Now it's very good to make AI feel like it's in a role. When you make it feel like it has a personality, then it really assumes that role, assumes that position, and it works harder, it works better. As you can see here, we have this hashtag role. You're an email assistant integrated to an n8n AI agent node. Your job is to interpret user requests, either generate or directly send emails using the send email node. Of course, we don't have that yet, but we're going to build it. Now, as you can see here, we have hashtags and then all caps into our sections. Now this is also a very common practice in any type of prompting for these instructions for AI agents, but you don't have to worry about that right now. So we have this expression right here. Now this is the instructions. So this is going to be considered, these are the guidelines for the AI agent to follow whenever we send it a system prompt, which is a message. And we can click out of here, and all we're going to do after here is let's try testing it. So for example, let's say, hello. It says, hi there, what can I assist you with today? So now that it's been connected to this OpenAI chat model, and it has some memory, you can see here, the memory stores some values. So for example, if I say, my name is Mekhan, it's going to say, thank you for sharing, how can I assist you today? Okay? And as you can see, it logged it into the window buffer memory. Now if I say, what's my name? I forgot. Your name is Mekhan. So as you can see right here, it uses the memory and it actually remembers things. So this is really what makes this beautiful as well, because it has a certain amount of memory and it can actually recall on past interactions. Now after we have this AI agent, you can see whenever the chat message is received, it consults OpenAI or o4 Mini, and then it remembers what we tell it. Now from here, what we have to do is we have to edit these fields so that we're able to actually take in what we need to take in specifically. Now I'm going to add an edit field node, which is simply going to extract certain data from the chat. And what I mean by that is it's simply going to take in whatever we want it to take in. So you can see here, let's add a field, let's call it output, and let's say, let's just drag this over here to our value. Oh, didn't work. Right there. Now it says, your name is Mekhan, how can I assist you further today? This is enough for the edit fields, and we're going to click out of this. Now, whenever we talk to it, it consults its OpenAI chat model, it remembers, and it consults its instructions. So we have almost all of the so we have almost all of the components of the diagram that I showed before working. Now all we need is this tool over here. Now as you can see here, there are a lot of tools to use. You probably recognize a lot of these, for example, AWS, Lambda, you're able to call a Lambda function, anything else, CoinGecko. So a lot of companies, a lot of softwares, they integrate with n8n and make.com, which is another one, you don't have to worry about that, so that people can make these automations. Of course, Discord, you guys know Discord. But here we're simply going to use Gmail. Now in Gmail, we're going to set it up so that we're able to send messages. Now, in this, we have this expression, and it would be great if we can have a function. So what we do to use a specific function to be able to extract anything out of a Gmail is simply these curly braces. So I need to go over to expression, curly brace, and simply scroll down and click on from AI. Now after you click on from AI, all you want to do is type in, with quotation marks, email recipient. Now what this does is it looks through the email draft and it simply extracts the recipient. Before, we would have to add another node, which is this edit fields node, to be able to extract certain data from our crafted Gmail. But here we can do it directly right as we're about to send an email. Now the subject is simply going to be this, copy and paste it, and it's going to be subject. Of course, make this a text, because if we wanted it to be HTML, then we would have to make it that specific format, but we don't want to do that. That's extra work. Email body. Of course, now it has everything that it needs to be able to send emails properly. Of course, you can make everything that you want over here, but we're simply going to make it send emails, and all it's going to do is it's going to consult the AI agent to be able to send an email. It's going to use the memory if needed, if it needs our name or any other details about us, and it's going to make sure it checks the memory. And then it's simply going to craft and send this email for us. Now over here we can test it right away. Can you send mechlek20@gmail.com an email asking him how his day was? Now, since we supplied the Gmail, the exact Gmail, it's going to be able to extract that using AI and find our email recipient. As you can see, if we click send, it immediately does it. I couldn't find an email for Mechlek. Could you provide it? Okay, so this issue comes from our system prompt right over here. Now this is because we tell it to actually go to our database and find this email. So what we need to do is we can make this a little simpler. We can go into ChatGPT and let's copy and paste this. Make this simpler to simply send emails and not ask for where to find them. Now of course, for any of these system prompts in any AI agent software, simply use ChatGPT. It'll make it super quick. That's not really what I want. Let's say simply send their email. Give this prompt that role of sending the email and make it so that it doesn't look through our tool to find the email to send it to. So what if we just say send emails? Now this is very bad, but let's try it out. Can you send Mechlek an email asking how his day was? As you can see, the Gmail node is working and it's sending it. I've sent an email to Mechlek asking how his day was. If you need anything else, feel free to ask. Now, this system prompt that I had before that was super long is actually what I use for the full finished product, which actually has a database as well. I'm going to show you how to connect yours as well. But this is simply to send emails right now. And as you can see, it says it sent it. Let's check. As you can see, how was your day? Hi Meklek, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to check in and see how your day has been going. Best regards, Mekan. This email was sent automatically with n8n. Now, if you want it to seem like your own personal assistant and not really AI, then we can go over here, click on Gmail, I believe, new properties, append n8n attribution, which means add the n8n attribution, which is this over here, and simply click it off. Now, if it sends again, it won't include this email was sent automatically with n8n. Now, what if we wanted to have a database? You know, I have my boss, I have my brother, I have maybe my second cousin, I have my mom. What if I have all these business partners as well that I want to send specific emails to? What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect another tool. Now, this tool is going to be more of a knowledge base. We're going to simply do Google Sheets to make it super simple, and all we're going to do is we're going to connect a specific sheet that we have. Now, I have this sheet set up, and it's super simple. You can set it up as well right away. I called it contact database, and it just has name, email, just like that. Now, when I go over here and I click on document from list, simply choose whatever document that you want and make sure you choose the sheet as well. Now we are going to have to use this super long prompt because this actually uses the tool that I was using before. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over, of course, you can find all of these resources in the Notion site down below. I'm going to have it listed. And as you can see, super long prompt, it connects to this database over here to be able to find who to send it to. Now this, let's rename this to contact database. Of course, you can rename them, all of these nodes, to whatever you want to be able to make it more personal and, of course, more readable. I feel like it really helps. Send email. So right over here, we go here, send email, contact database, boom. So now let's say, can you send Mekan an email asking him how his wrestling tournament was? Now it should look through this database, which is this one over here. It should find Mekan, and it should send this specific email, an email asking him how the wrestling tournament was. Let's send it. Let's see. As you can see, it works with the contact database. It found it. Now it's going to send the email. Now this email over here is my other email, so let me switch over to that. And let's see, did it come through? How's your wrestling tournament? Hey, I hope you're doing well. I want to check in and see how your wrestling tournament went. Looking forward to hearing all about it. Best. Now this over here is a little bit of a problem. All you have to do is you have to go into your AI agent prompt, tell it to remember my name before you send this type of email. So then it never puts your name over here. So that is the basics of how to make your own simple AI agent. I hope you like this tutorial. Of course, this is a very simple, quick tutorial that you can replicate right away. Every resource that I have that's super long is going to be linked in the Notion site down below. Of course, I'll link the download file for this as well. And to import it, it's going to be a .json file. You're simply going to download it from my Notion site, completely free in the description. You're going to click on import from file, and you're going to upload that JSON file, and it's going to have this appear right in front of your eyes. Now all you have to do is you have to connect your own credentials, especially for the OpenAI chat model, and then of course for the contact database and the sending the email part. Because you just have to make sure it goes through your email, your API credits for OpenAI, and that's it. I hope you guys like this tutorial, and if you guys like this tutorial, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. I read all of them, and make sure to share this so that other people can make their own personal AI automations as well. If you like this, make sure to subscribe and turn the notification bell on because a lot more n8n and other types of automations are going to be coming your way. Bye. Have a great day.